Hello there, good evening, and thank you very much for making time for us tonight right here on the Talk Point. It is always a pleasure to have you as we try to converse and look at the political scene and just what has been happening over the week. But particularly this week, we'd love to talk about President Uhuru Kenyatta's hands when it comes to the succession politics for 2022 elections. Why does it seem that he has already picked a candidate that he'd prefer to take over after him when it comes to 2022? This is what we shall be focusing on tonight, and to help me talk a little bit more about this, I'm joined by Miss Catherine Wekesa, who is a UDA aspirant right here in the capital city of Nairobi. Thank you very much, Madam, for making time.
Thank you.
Yes, and probably just beginning with the basics, when the president was in Nakuru recently, when the city was being inaugurated to the city status, he mentioned something about, marathon and sprinting, and he said, marathon ndio ile pace ambayo mzee anaweza. For you, from where you sit, did that sound like an endorsement, like he was endorsing the ODM leader Raila Odinga?
First of all, thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah.
Well, as you have said, my name is Catherine Wekesa. I'm an aspirant in UDA for Nairobi seat, Nairobi County Women Rep seat.
Okay.
Yeah, actually it has been there. It has been known since the time of the handshake,
Yeah.
that he's been angling towards that, even saying that marathon, kuna wa marathon na kuna wa sprint.
Yeah.
It's been showing us, it's been hinting it's Raila, that's what he wants to endorse him. But actually I don't think it's right, because him being the president, he should give people, we are in a democracy in a country.
Yeah.
So democracy should prevail. So people should be given a chance to choose who they want for them to lead this country.
Yes.
His time is over. It's going to be over. Mm-hmm. So he should just go. He should just let the wananchi do the necessary.
Yeah, and there was an article recently, and it was talking about how the president has learned from his mentor, that is the late former president Daniel Arap Moi, and he has learned from his mentor, because looking at Kibaki was avoiding this, trying to pick a successor for himself. But this president, that is President Uhuru Kenyatta, particularly followed what Moi was doing. Looking at the chances, really, is he a good student or did he fail somewhere?
Well, I think he failed somewhere because when looking back to President Moi, Moi was a good teacher, but when he was leaving, he wanted to leave it but he didn't show it so much, and he let the wananchi, what he said, he will let the wananchi do select their leader. But now coming to this, he has really, our president has really gone overboard, and he has really shown it out. It's like everybody knows what he's done. But when they were getting into election in 2013, 2017, he was together with his deputy, and he always showed that they were together until, he said yake kumi na ya Ruto kumi, lakini sasa amekuja amembadilika, unaona. So I think people were furious, especially the Mount Kenya guys, who knew that he was with him all through, and he's the one who really led his campaigns for him to get to presidency. So I feel like he has not done justice to his deputy and also to the Mount Kenya people.
Yes, but I'd love to stick with the sprint, because it's not a two-horse, it's not just two people running for presidency. Yes, it might be termed as a two-horse race between Raila and Ruto, but there are other presidential candidates. We have the One Kenya Alliance, we also have Governor Alfred Mutua. But why would it feel for the UDA people that when he talked about sprint, he was preferring to Ruto?
Yeah, I was referring to Ruto because Ruto has really worked his way out. He doesn't want to wait for any endorsement because he knows he has to relate with the people, and he has already done that. So it is even too late for him to come over and say that he wants to endorse Raila. Ruto has already done his rounds. He has already gotten the favor of the Wananchi with his bottom-up economy that is going to really uplift the small Wananchi, that is going to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor, and that's what we are ascribing to in UDA. So coming to say that the sprint and the what, our deputy Ruto, he's going to do justice to our country. He's shown that he's going to uplift, and he's really waiting to make sure that these people are economically built. Yeah.
But wouldn't you say that indeed the deputy president could be sprinting? Because looking at just the number of rallies he's having, yesterday he had 6 rallies, the previous day he had almost 7 rallies, and recently there was a statistics that say he holds up to almost 130 rallies in a month. Wouldn't you feel like it's actually a sprinting race? Don't you think he's going too fast?
Let him do that, because that is what he did even for Uhuru to get to presidency. He has to keep on coming to people and making sure that they understand his model of bringing the economy back, so that Wananchi are not going to suffer. He wants them to understand and to feel him, that like now they have felt him, and we love what he's doing, even to the Wananchi, using his own resources. Uplifting, boosting the small mama bogas and the bodas and the all those people. He wants them to he wants to make them feel that they are part and parcel of this country, and that they are supposed to live a dignified life.
Okay, let us look at the Mount Kenya Foundation that yesterday sort of declared the backing for ODM leader Raila Odinga, and they particularly said that the president sent us to the candidates, let us talk to the candidates and come up with a name and forward it back to the president. How does this affect Ruto when it comes to trying to consolidate Mount Kenya? Because the foundation has already backed Raila.
It has not affected him in any way. Already Ruto has the backing of the Mount Kenya, because almost all, I can just say almost all, the member of parliament, the incumbent, even those who are aspiring, almost all are in the side of Ruto, are in UDA party. So I don't think this endorsement and whatever the few Mount Kenya billionaires in Safari Park, whatever they were doing, it is null and void to Ruto.
So it doesn't count.
It doesn't count at all. Already Ruto has consolidated those votes, and those people are together with our deputy president.
But
Ruto.
One would argue that Mount Kenya is divided, and it's not all to Ruto's side. It is divided.
It is not divided. I'm telling you, this is just a show.
Okay.
Who would have told you? Who would have known that? The governor of Nyeri would jump ship to
but he had hinted.
UD.
He had hinted.
No,
he said, I'm
known?
not interested in the history.
You see?
I want what is the future. He had hinted at it.
No, they are not going to. They are not going to. It's not divided. You will see come 2022, I'm telling you, everyone will have shifted. All the remaining few, just a quarter of a quarter, the remaining few are all going to jump ship.
That is,
so it is like, you see, Uhuru is trying to impose. They are being imposed. When you impose somebody, there's always that what do you call it? People fight back. They don't want to, because they all have their own minds. They should leave these people, Mount Kenya, to choose the person they want.
Okay, that is quite confident about the Mount Kenya region.
Yeah.
And what would you say about the president trying to foster a coalition between One Kenya Alliance and ODM to be strong enough to be a competitor to Ruto?
he has really tried, but I'm telling you, these Okoa are repellent. They don't want, because they've had a history with Raila Odinga, who is not honest with them, because you see the last time walisema ati akona risasi moja, hiyo risasi iliisha. Sasa saizi anatakana aende tu nyumbani akae, akuwe anapeana tu advice hapa, advice there, njo ajiuzulu kama kwa heshima, njo aweze kuheshimika. Lakini wakati huu ni wakati wa generation ingine, inatakikana awachie hawa vijana. Unaona, even him, he has not groomed anyone. He's so selfish. He has not groomed anyone, to a legacy to live. Is so he's just going, let's say like right now, anything, no one is there, he'll leave that house fighting. So I think he's not doing justice to his own people.
But he's been in a very good relationship, working relationship with his deputy from 2013 to 2018. Those are 5 years. Won't you say he has groomed Ruto enough till 2018 before, Ruto says the handshake came and intercepted our record?
Who was grooming the other? I think even when you saw the campaigns of 2013 and 2017, who was leading that campaign, you'd even have thought that it is Ruto who is going to be the president, who is becoming the president. But he was doing it for Uhuru. He was really pushing him. It was not Uhuru who was doing all that. It is Ruto who was doing all that.
That is quite interesting. But why does UDA feel like the handshake is what, stopped this economic development record, particularly for the Big Four agenda? I mean, they can always still work towards the agenda. It doesn't have to mean that the handshake intercepted that.
You see, when Raila came on the scene with the handshake, Ruto was put asunder. Ruto, they could not come together and do what they had promised the Wananchi. Sorry, excuse me. They could not do what they had promised the Wananchi. You see, he came and interrupted whatever they had planned to do for the Mwananchi. So you find that when Raila came, he wanted to now impose other things. He wanted the constitution to be changed so that to suit him and to suit all those that he wanted to bring on board, so that he can consolidate all the votes. Like you see, like now he's trying to get the Okoa and the Okoa people. You see now Kalonzo gave an excuse, Mudavadi is nowhere, Wetangula has prior engagements, So this looks like it's a futile, it's not possible. They have tried sitting in hotels, sitting where. It's not working. It's not working. It's no longer working, because Raila really betrayed those three. And they know, and they don't want to go back. Like if they would go back, it's like, people will look at them and think that they're not decisive, and they cannot be able to lead a country if they cannot decide on something like what they had said. So I don't think, Uhuru has tried, but no. It is not working. They are not coming. You see, like now they're not going to be there. Even this thing of sorry, excuse me. This thing of him going to Kasarani, it is not. Maybe they could say it's a launch, not an endorsement. It's just already Uhuru had hinted this thing. That he wants this to come to. But you see.
Okay. Allow us to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'd love to talk about Ruto and if he needs, or whether he needs an endorsement for him to be, in the seat 2022 in the ballot. So we take that quick break, but we'll be back in just a short while, so stay with us. Good evening and welcome back to the Talk Point. We are talking about 2022 succession politics, the Kalonzo factor, the Raila factor, the Ruto factor as well when it comes to who will be succeeding President Uhuru Kenyatta come 2022. So much was said. The president sort of hinted at supporting or endorsing Raila, says, you know, the marathon and the sprint, I'd go for the marathon, the sprint atachoka uko mbele, and so many other things that were said. But I'd love to try and look at this situation from the other side. What would it mean for Ruto to get endorsed by the president, if at all he would even get endorsed?
Of course, looking back, Uhuru is not going to endorse him. Yeah, and actually, Ruto does not need endorsement.
But what if he does? What if the president actually endorses him?
I mean, he has come too late already. He has related with the 190 very well. He has taken the masses. The masses are with Ruto. So I don't think endorsement could mean anything. It will not mean anything.
Okay.
Yes.
And looking at a possible coalition, I mean, the UDA wants these smaller parties to dissolve and join the UDA. Why can't just UDA accommodate all these parties and not have to put them on the pressure and the spotlight of dissolving?
I think they just want to, you know, we want to make a big, formidable, you know, force so that this party can be a big and a party for the 190. It can be a national party. You know, as it is like now, it is it's national party because it has all. There's no tribe that is not in UDA. Yeah, we are consolidating each and everybody is welcome into that party. Yeah.
And what happens if the One Kenya Alliance are interested to join UDA?
Then there will be talks. I think there will be talks, you know.
Okay.
There are
would
rooms
you
for
feel
talks.
like they would come to an agreement?
Yeah, I think they will. They will.
Actually, speaking on that, I'd love to ask
Ruto
you,
is very accommodative. He will bring even all his enemies. You can see even there are those who used to talk against him, but they are welcomed here and they are coming. They are coming in masses.
Okay. And I'd love to actually get your thoughts on, there have been some sort of, I wouldn't call them rumors, but the word in town says that, you know, there's a One Kenya Alliance principle that has been meeting Ruto behind closed doors. I mean, who is that and what is that all about?
That one I cannot say because I don't have that information and I've not heard the rumors. But what I'm saying that there's room for talk, there's room for coalitions. So that one, it does not limit. There's no limit to our UDA party in talking to others. Okay. Yeah, and bringing others on board. And about the rumors, I don't know. I actually cannot say because I don't know.
So you'd strongly stand and say no one has been meeting Ruto behind closed doors from the One Kenya Alliance?
I cannot say that because I actually don't know. I can say friends do meet and maybe you can meet and just have a cup of coffee. Meaning just being in the opposing side does not mean that there's enmity. You know, opposing is not enmity because you're working towards the same goal. You're working towards making our country better. You see, so maybe they could just meet maybe for a cup of coffee, not meaning that there's anything that is going on. Yeah. Okay,
let's shift to a bit of the economic model that the deputy president has been talking about. Bottom-up economic model. He has also said that 100 billion shillings to the SMEs, and that is what he'll be doing when he comes into power and into office in 2022. This economic model has also received quite a lot of criticism from the other, I'd say, presidential aspirants, particularly when you're talking about hustler movement, and says, you know, whoever is leading you is not a hustler himself, so don't follow that hustler movement. What are your thoughts really about comparing or looking at the differences of this economic model of the bottom-up of the Deputy President William Ruto and this trickle-down effect of Raila Odinga?
Okay, in the past, the trickle down has been there, and this trickle down has never reached the common mwananchi, the mwananchi who is that the mashinani. It has never reached. So he wants to empower he wants to come from down to uplift those who are down, to come up, you know, to be able to generate enough for themselves. Let's say, like, he wants to pump in more resources to the small businesses, let's say like the mama mbogas, such that they can boost their business. They can also employ others. They can also open branches, you know, and that means you'll get more people being employed. You see, and also the youth, they want to look in ways that they can be employed. You see, even the fact that they have to, you see that they have to, you know, sometimes when they come from colleges and they don't have any experience. You see, like most places, they need people who have experience. Where are they going to get that experience if you're not going to train them? So these people must be trained, and that's what he talks. They must be trained. Even they will be employed on job training. You see, so this bottom up is going to be effective, because we are going to start from down there, bringing people up, boosting their businesses, let them be able to cater for themselves and even be able to bring others on board, be able to employ others. That's where we are going to bridge the gap from between the poor and the rich. It's going to at least be minimal. Yes.
And we understand this whole bottom-up economic approach of, you know, starting from the common mwananchi down there to whoever is up there and bridging that gap. But one would argue, I mean, Ruto has been in government since 2013. Today it's still in government. Why didn't he try to incorporate this model when he was, or when he's still the deputy president? Why would he wait till 2022?
You see, as they were trying to do this, they were interrupted by the handshake, because even the four agendas were not exhausted. So, and he was not given an opportunity. You see, like, his duties were delegated to somebody else. You see, so he was not able to do this. And now that he has sat and thought and saw the suffering of the Wananchi, now he came up with this model, and this model is working. And he has himself started using his own resources to do what little that he can do to the smaller mwananchi. So that's what I think he's going to, and he's really focused on doing that. You know, I don't think he can go around doing all that and then go back on his word. I don't think he's going to do, because he knows, because he also came from a humble beginning. He went to school without shoes. He knows how it is to sleep hungry. He knows how it is to just sleep on sukuma wiki, boiled sukuma wiki without being fried. He knows how it is to not be able, for his parents not to be able to pay school fees. So all this he relates with the wananchi. So I think the masses have really accepted Ruto is going to make to bring back the economy of this country back on its feet. Yes.
Let's come back to the capital city of Nairobi. You being an aspirant in the capital city.
Yes.
And there hasn't been so much campaigns going on in the capital, won't you agree?
Yeah, because right now the period has not started yet, and you know, you can imagine, even knowing that those people who are still on working, who would want to come to politics, they will have to they'll have to in Feb. That's when they need to resign from their workplaces. So I don't think it has been so much. It has only been maybe what you can say chini ya maji. Yeah, it has not been so much.
And you know, there have been questions really that, you know, the reason as to why ziko chini ya maji and not as vibrant as you'd see in other counties or you'd witness in other counties. Yes, the campaign period has not begun, but it's as if, you know, these political candidates who are aspiring to be either governors or women representatives right here in the capital were waiting for the way forward from, you know, this Azimio la Umoja convention that is happening today.
I don't think they had already decided long time. Azimio does not affect the campaign. So if they want to start early, or because already their minds are set, they want to now, they're just waiting for this period so that they just can move in masses. Because you see, there are those who are in civil servants, there are those who are still holding positions, and if one would say that they want to jump ship to come to, they are supporting Ruto, they are victimized. You find that there are things that are being talked about. When you have small issues now, they really magnify the issues, so they have kept cool. They are waiting for just the announcement for them to start.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as we conclude, political party primaries are causing a big headache for a lot of candidates. Raila, Ruto himself, Musalia Mudavadi. Are we likely to see a consensus if at all there's a region that is harboring maybe 3 or more than 2 political aspirants going for the same seat under the same party ticket in UDA? Are we likely to see a consensus?
Yeah, it is causing a lot, because you find that when you have 5 or more on one ticket, and maybe, and you know how nominations are, sometimes they are not fair, sometimes, looking back at history, so you find that people will they want to jump ship to shift from, if they don't get fairness from a certain party. But you see, like now, the political party, the register of political parties said that okay, they want to make parties to be strong further. They want to remove this jumping from one party to, that's why they've pushed nomination towards a later date. But I also think that, okay, sometimes maybe there could be consensus. Maybe when it is truthful, that maybe they will sit down and be able to agree to, but not to impose people. They have to sit down and also to be able to talk to their mwananchi to understand. Yeah, that's how they're going to come out of this. Otherwise, there are so many disgruntlement, there are so many, so I think even the aspirants themselves are not so very sure. Yeah.
Yes, and as we conclude, probably any final word on this 2022 succession talks?
What I would just say is just that let democracy prevail, let people choose their president, let no one be imposed on the citizen, and I would also want to, like, those people who are given leadership, let them be people who are standing on their words. Whatever they promise to the wananchi, let them just deliver. Let there be no, when you get into position now, you forget where you came from, you forget your promises. Let them just do whatever they had promised the mwananchi. And also, like, looking, even the city of Nairobi, like, you find that leadership of women is so wanting. So that's why I have given myself, I'm aspiring for this seat, county women rep, and I know I will deliver, because there are so many cries from women who are not getting whatever they need to get from the government.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for your company. My guest for tonight has been Catherine Wekesa, UDA aspirant in the capital city of Nairobi, in Nairobi County, and we have been taking a look at the 2022 succession politics, the endorsements, and of course the imposing, as she says, on residents or on citizens of various leaders. But that is where we wrap it for tonight. Thank you very much for your company. I'm Cynthia Nanjala. This has been the Talk Point. See you next Friday.